Hello, boys and girls. Welcome back to Kids Choice Thursday. We are having so much fun today. We already did one, and I just couldn't pick. They were all so good, all the suggestions you sent, and there were several that I could not get to. But if we ever have a week where there's not as many votes for something new, I'm still keeping the things that you guys sent in this week, and they still might get voted on in the future. So don't worry, you didn't lose your vote just because I didn't choose yours this week. We already did Baby Yoda this week, so check that out. But I also got a couple of requests for a book that I have not read before called Not Quite Narwhal. Now that is by Jessie Seema, and it is so cute. I love the illustration. It's really fun and fresh. And again, I don't have it, and we can't really go out shopping right now because, you know, we're on quarantine kind of. So I went to Amazon.com and I did the look inside, and I was able to read several pages of the book, and it's so cute and the illustrations are great. So if you guys have that book, get it out and read it and enjoy it. If somebody will request a book that I have, I will maybe read it to you guys one week because I love to read and I love to illustrate my favorite things. But this is what Not Quite Narwhal looks like. Yeah, she's not quite a narwhal, is she? Bless her heart, she's a unicorn. But she's swimming with under the sea, and narwhals have a big horn on their head too. So I think she's adorable, and she swims with the narwhals in the book. On some of the pages that I could see, and it was so cute. So we're going to do her today. Now, I've been using colored pencils today because that's just what I had, and I've done some different things so far. We tried markers last Thursday. If you don't have colored pencils, don't worry. You can paint. You can just use a regular drawing pencil. You can just use your marker or your pen or whatever you have. But I thought as long as we're doing colored pencils today, that's what I'm going to do. So I'm gonna go ahead and get you started. Now, remember, you can start with a pencil and eraser if you like, and then trace with a marker, or then just go back and use darker pencil. Remember, if you do choose to do pencil first, use whisper lines. Draw so lightly. I always think of when you're drawing really dark with a pencil, it's like you're yelling at your paper, and then it's really hard to erase. Not only is it hard to erase the line, but it also makes a big crack in the paper, like a big cavern or something. And even if you are able to erase the pencil out, you still have a big crack in your paper. So always try to draw so lightly until you get it the way you want it. And just think about whispering on your paper. That's the way I think of it. Now, I'm just gonna start right with this. And I turned my paper landscape on this one because the little, Not Quite Narwhal is kind of going this way. So I think it will fit better on landscape paper. So let's do it, and let's see where we're gonna start. Now I think for this, I want to start with her little collar. So I'm gonna start about right here on my paper. Here's the middle. I'm gonna come over a little and give her about that much. It's a little bit of a curved line. I'm gonna come down on the sides, and then I'm gonna curve it back the other way, and that's like her little collar, okay? Now, from that, I'm gonna come up from this side, and we're gonna come up the back, and then down like a little ear, okay? Then we're gonna come up just a little, going that way just a bit. This could be tricky, but her little horn sits down in her head. So I could take this line and go boop, 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 boop on over to her nose, but I'm gonna make a little dip right there because that's where her little horn is gonna go. And I'm gonna come on up and make that little horn come up. Now, Not Quite Narwhal has a little ring on her horn, so I'm gonna go ahead and put it on there because there it is. It's like a little ring going right through her horn. Go ahead and put it there. And then on the other side, it dips down a little before it goes around a big nose area. So I'm gonna come down a little bit and then up around her little nose, and then it comes in and smiles. Got it? It just dips and then around a big circle. And then from here, we're just gonna come. Oh, she's looking so cute. Now she's got a little nostril right about there. She's got a little eye right about there and a little eyebrow. Okay, now her eye is pretty good size, little oval, and that's about it. Now, that's the ear on this side. She has an ear on her other side that's behind. So we see the front of this ear, but there's another one right like that. Okay, so just put you a little one right there. Hey, and we've got the head done. Now we're just gonna get her little body. So again, I'm gonna start right here and I'm gonna come down over her little bottom. So we're gonna come right here and go down over her little bottom like that. Okay, and her little legs are kind of pointed. So I'm gonna come from here, it comes up kind of like a little triangle shape. So I'm gonna come like, and that's it. I'm gonna stop there. She's got a little belly right there. But I'm gonna go ahead and come down from here next. So right here from her little collar, we're gonna come down about that much. And this other little leg is, her little legs look kind of like little fins. So it comes down like this and then up like that. And right between here and here is where her little belly lies. Boom. You know what? I messed up. This should kind of match up with that. So if you want, trace your little finger and it should have kind of matched up like that. So you know what Miss Strickler does when that happens? I just make my lines thicker, pretend like I did it on purpose. Oh, boys and girls, that looks great. You know why? Because on the underside, we're usually in shadow. So it's usually a little darker. So because I thickened my line right there, I think it looks like a shadow. So I'm gonna go ahead and thicken that line too, because that's underside. And now I've got a little shadow there, and I'm gonna put a shadow underneath my what? My collar, because that's the underside. Hey, I like it. That looks like I did it on purpose, right? Now, she's got another little fin that's coming out the front, coming right from here. So watch this from under the collar. It's coming up like that and then back in like that. And then she's got one more coming out back here from right about here and then back in like that. I'm gonna curve that a little more. And her tail, and she's got a nice big fluffy tail, comes right from about here, and I'm gonna come whee, and I'm gonna come whee, and I left it open, do you see that? And I'm gonna put a W, boom, 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 kind of with a bigger middle. I like it, she looks like it, look. She's looking like our little creature. She's so cute. Oh, she's got some spots on her bottom, doesn't she? You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and draw a few of those in. She's got a bigger one, and a bigger one, and a little one, and a medium, and a tiny. I like it. That's good. That is the hardest part. The rest, she's got this little helmet going around, or this little bubble around her head, and she also has some hair here. I'll go ahead and add her hair, but I'm not gonna add that little bubble helmet because I brought a special ingredient from my office for that, and for all of these little white bubbles, I thought I'm gonna use some whiteout. Ask your adults if they have any whiteout at the house. This is a liquid whiteout. It comes out, you squeeze it like a pen, and it comes out. If not, white colored pencil will work, or you can make your bubbles. If you don't have anything white that'll work, just use a darker blue. So I'm gonna use my little correction pen, and then some of the places I'm gonna use a darker blue, so you can see how both will look and how both look great. And then you can kind of choose and use whatever you have. So, was I gonna draw anything? Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and put some of this hair. So I'm just gonna flick out some hair. Now, boys and girls, when you're doing hair or anything that's like grass or whatever, kind of flick it. Start at the thicker part, and it's thicker at the scalp or the base of of the head, and then it gets a little lighter out. So if you'll watch me, I'm gonna go flick, flick, and then I'm gonna go flick, 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 flick. And she has a little bit of hair, flick, 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 that's coming around. I'm gonna do a little more, like that. Okay, that's pretty much it. Just give her some hair. All right, time to color. All right, now for this, I brought some of these colors. Now, I noticed on her little horn, it had a little bit of a yellow look. So I'm gonna very lightly put some yellow in. And then I noticed her little feet were darker at the base, and then they faded up to kind of white. So I'm just gonna put a little color down here, color her tail in nicely and her dots, and I'm gonna go over her little hair I just flicked in nice and dark, and a little pinky on her nose, okay? So let's see. That won't take long at all. We're gonna just lightly bring in a little color from here. Just a little bit up like that. With that. A little bit coming up here. A little bit here. And I'm going to color her tail in a little darker and all the way. Boys and girls, you guys know turquoise is my favorite color, so that makes me so happy to get to use some turquoise in my art. I always love that. What's your favorite color? Do you like turquoise too? Or blues? Or I'm gonna put a little pink in this one. Oh, I marked in my background. It's okay. I'm gonna get some of that pink I used earlier in Yoda's ears and kind of get my nose a little bit pink. Just a little. That looks pretty good, I think. I think it's cute. You know what? The illustration doesn't have it, but I'm gonna put a little pink in my ears, guys. I like a little pink in the ears. I just added that. That's fun. It might have it. I don't see the real cover of the book, just a picture I made from the internet. All right, now, if you'll notice, actually, I'm gonna put it here so you can see better. It's turquoise in the background, or light blue. There's a little bit of yellow and pink, maybe a little purple, a little green that kind of streaks through. So I'm gonna try to do that, but the first step is I'm just gonna very lightly put a good bit of turquoise. And notice, it goes kind of this direction. So guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna make all my color marks, all my pencil marks, go in that direction too, because I want it to kind of look like that. So I'm gonna kind of, and I don't mind if it goes off my paper. If you're sitting at your mom or your dad's or your grandma's or your babysitter's house or whoever you're with today, if you're sitting at their table and you're at the dining room table or you're at the kitchen table or the wherever, and you don't have a newspaper down or you don't have a crummy plastic table like me, don't draw off the edge like I'm doing. Be sure you put like a piece of paper under it. Maybe I should show you how to do the better job. I'll put paper under it. That way you're not messing up other tables, okay? This is my art studio where I am, so I don't have to worry too much because I just keep art kind of stuff here. But when I'm at home in my kitchen or something, I'm a little more careful. I'm gonna move my little paper over and I'm gonna get this. I gotta hold my paper still so I can get the rest. Now you don't have to go this fast. I just have my pencil to the side and it gives me a bigger marking surface and I can go pretty quickly. It's also a little noisy, isn't it? Sorry about that. I just really like the way my marks are going all the same way. When I get up close to my little narwhal, I'm going a little slower because I don't want to cover over that white belly and stuff. Notice when I get up to the tail, it doesn't really matter because that's the same color. It's the exact same pencil, I just pressed down harder right there. All right, well now I've got some nice background turquoise, and you see how all my marks are going this direction. Now comes the fun part. Again, if you want to look and see what I'm thinking about, I'm going to bring some pink through, then a little yellow, then a little green through. So let's see how that's going to go. Here's some pink. I'm going to bring it through right here. It's a little bit more on this side and it fades out over here. So I'm going to let it fade out just a bit. After that, they kind of fade through a little bit of yellow. I'm going to bring a little yellow through. That looks good. Then they faded through a little bit of green. That looks good too. Boy, you can't go wrong with this. Looks good. I kind of like it. Ooh, see how pretty these colors blend together, boys and girls? I'm going to put a little more yellow here. And I want a little more pink because pink's one of my favorites. So I'm going to put a little bit more pink in. Let it be a little darker. That's pretty. Now I think what I want to do next is I want a little bit of streaks coming through, okay? So let's see if I can't get a little bit of streaks coming through. And I'm just going to do that by going. That looks good to me. I like it. I'm going to put a little bit coming out there. I'm going to try a little bit of yellow streaks. And then I'm going to put a little bit of green streaks coming through. I changed my angle there. It looks a little bit weird, doesn't it? I'm going to change it here too on purpose to balance it. There. Oh, I like it. You know what I forgot? I forgot his hair, or her hair is turquoise also. I'm going to use this slightly darker window for the hair, and I'm just going to go right over my other lines, and I'm going to try to make my hair look turquoise. If I had it to do again, I might not do this in the Sharpie. I might just leave that off and add it just in the colored pencil at the end instead. But I've covered it up pretty well. I kind of like that. It's kind of fun. I want to get a little thinner at the end here. There we go. Fun. You know what? That little collar was black, and I didn't want to black it all in with Sharpie, so I'm going to use a little black color pencil, I think, and get that collar or the base of that bubble helmet or whatever that thing is on. If I could read the whole book, I'd know what it was. But there, I like the way that looks. That's looking great. Now here's the experiment. I've never drawn with whiteout before, or correction pen, so it's something new. I'm going to shake it up really well. That ought to do it. Now, if you'll look, and if you're using a white colored pencil, or even, let's say that you don't have a white colored pencil or whiteout or anything, and you know, you can use the pencil, a regular pencil, you can use a Sharpie, or if it were me, I'd probably go with the dark blue and just make that little white oval in the dark blue. So I'm gonna try to go around. Notice it's gonna go right about, well, it has to catch all that hair, and it goes around where that little ring is on that. Oh, I know what that ring is. It's the hole in the top of the bubble. I just figured it out. Boy, I hope I didn't make mine too short so that I can fit my hair in there. Here we go, I'm gonna try. Okay, I should have made my little ring a little taller, but I didn't quite know what I was doing, did I? Now I'm figuring it out. I'm gonna keep on coming with my correction fluid. It's kind of hard to get it to come in a perfect little line, but it's working. Let's try some more. Oh, that's fun, guys. I kind of like the correction fluid. That holds it. Now, I'm going to go ahead and put some little stars in. Now, the other thing that there are some little dots. So I'm going to go around with some little dots. And then, like I said, they don't have to all just, ooh, this is kind of stinky, just so you know, stinky. I'm gonna go around and add some in the blue too, like we talked about. I like it with the white, but it's not showing up a whole lot, so I'm gonna go in with the blue. Whoa! And I'm going to just put a few of these little things in the blue, because I think that'll be pretty. And then there's dots. So I'm gonna come in and make and I think these are bubbles. So I'm gonna make myself some little dotty bubbles. And I know that hers are white, but mine are gonna be blue, some of them, because that white didn't show up a whole lot. Hers is a painting, so it's a little bit easier to show up. But I think this looks good. That's enough, I think. You can put as many as you like. I think she's looking fun. I hope you guys had fun with this one. I think I'm gonna go back and change the shape of this little ring now that I know what it is on here, and I'm gonna try to make it look more like the top of that. There. I could also go in, if I wanted, after this dries, and put a little bit of an accent line if I wanted, just a little bit, kind of coming around. Would just make it show up a little more. That's kind of a good way to do it too. All right, well, I hope you had fun with this one, and she's looking pretty cute. I don't think mine will dry or run. I kind of like her. So that is that, and that is called, again, the Not Quite Narwhal. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Be sure now to vote for what we do next Thursday. Just have your responsible adult give me an email that says you vote for X, Y, or Z, or A, B, or C, or whatever you like. But remember, I want you guys to stay creative. I want you to draw something every day. Anything that you think of, okay? If you want to get better and become even more awesome than I know you already are, draw at least one thing every day. Take care. Bye, guys. Love you.